John Brown, everybody. Yeah, what's going on, everybody? We having fun tonight? Yeah. Woo! Give it up for Garrett Waller. I want to thank him for dressing up for the event tonight. Man, when you guys say anonymous, you fucking mean it. When I was setting this show up, it was like I was talking to the CIA. They're like, well, you can't say it's AA because AA doesn't do fundraisers. I'm like, yeah, but it's for the Alano Club. I said, okay, is it the Alano Club or the Alano Club? Because I've heard it both ways. That's a secret. Yeah, but you guys are open to the public, right? I'm like, but what do you guys do there? Exactly. We can't really talk about it. But we got it done, goddammit, and here we are. So give yourselves a round of applause for coming out tonight. It's such a wonderful cause. Now I want to start out by acknowledging the elephant in the room, which is that a lot of you folks out here tonight are probably on the road to recovery as we speak. And most of us comics are not. And I say God bless you because I myself have been stuck on the third step for like 23 years now. That's that pesky higher power one. My higher power, as I understand it, is a dick. He doesn't like me very much either, so we kind of have a mutual whatever. But us comics, we do respect people who've been through tough times, so I hope you're having a good time tonight. All right, I'm not whoring for applause, guys. You can relax, enjoy the show. Yeah, uncomfortable situations are important, man. They shape you. You got to seek them out sometimes. Like I myself, I walked into, one time when I was in New York, I walked into a casino in Chinatown. And I might as well have been on Mars. I would describe the feeling as like, if the first episode of Lost that you ever saw was like mid-season 2. Nothing makes any fucking sense. You're like, what's going on around here? You say the Hobbit is addicted to heroin. They all survived a plane crash. Well, that all by itself is unlikely. You know what? I'll bet it turns out they're all dead. You know what? Fuck this stupid ass show. I nailed it. It's too weird to be anything else. I'm going outside. Have fun waiting 7 months for the next episode, nerd. Personally, I watched Lost on Netflix, so I was only disappointed over a course of about 4 weeks, as opposed to 7 years of my life like the rest of America. But I'm pretty sure that's not what I was talking about. In the business, we call that a tangent. And I wrote it that way to be quirky and off-kilter. I'm not sure if it worked or not, but now it's time to get back to the original topic. I walked into a Chinese casino. And there was enough red and yellow neon in that place to take a regular person and make them epileptic. And I didn't understand anything that I saw. In fact, after a while I started to wonder if those people were actually Chinese or if they just had to squint from working in that place 13 hours a day. Now, that last part sounded pretty racist, and I don't want you guys to tell anybody that I said it. But I looked around, I didn't understand a damn thing until I saw a slot machine, and those I recognized. Insert money, pull the thing, be disappointed, repeat. So I inserted the money, I pulled the thing, and the wheels spun while the music played. And it was the Black Eyed Peas, because that's what Americans are into. And it was the original version, too, where they say, let's get retarded in here, which led me to the conclusion that this Chinese slot machine was constructed during a very specific window of time. I knew Charlie would like that one. I can hear him giggling in the back. That's awesome. But the wheels started to stop, and they landed on a yin-yang, a Chinese character that looks like something a slutty girl would tattoo on the back of her neck, and a pair of chopsticks. And I had no idea how to interpret this, but the alarm went off and the lights started to flash, and out popped a fucking chicken foot. I didn't know what to do, but I'm into new experiences, so I took my chicken foot over to the cashier's cage, and I slapped it down on the counter like a high roller. $5,000. Which proves the point that you got to get yourself outside your comfort zone. It pays off. None of that stuff actually happened. Except for the part about Lost. That show really was a huge letdown. But all of it was super hard to write. So, you know, outside the comfort zone thing applies. I think it's important, man, because I don't have any kids. You guys were talking about who's got kids and who doesn't. I don't have any kids. So it's important for me to make an impression. Like, I've got to do something to make sure nobody forgets me. Like, I don't have to make their day. I just have to make an impression. So here's a tip. Walk up to a lady with the stroller and say, "Excuse me, miss, but that is the ugliest baby I've ever seen in my life." That is the ugliest baby in the history of ugly babies. Ugly babies come from miles around to lay wreaths of tribute at the feet of this, the ugliest of all ugly babies. Now that sounds terrible, until 30 years later, that same lady is having tea with her granddaughter, and she tells the story of the day that weirdo came up to her in the park, and he told me that your mother was the ugliest dog-faced fucking baby he'd ever seen in his life. And you just made some people laugh 30 years in the future like a goddamn time traveler. Just like Doctor Who. Yeah. That was from my girlfriend. She's a hardcore Whovian now. Fucking dork. It's one of the things I love about her, you guys. She's just as excited about the new Batman game as I am. Yeah, the other version of that joke goes like this. You walk up to a lady with the baby and you say, "Excuse me, miss, I don't want to freak you out, but I know a guy who would pay good money for a baby that size." There's no sex involved, don't worry, and you hand her a business card, and this is where it gets fun because you can change it up. It could say like Max Factor Cosmetics Testing Department. It could say Purina Dog Food Meat Acquisition. Or my favorite, one-on-one baby cage fighting. Extreme infant death match. Sudden infant death showdown. Nobody likes that joke. But I tell it anyway because you got to put yourself in uncomfortable positions. I went to a pro-life rally with a sign that said, "Abortion is justifiable homicide." And they got all mad. There was a guy there that had a sign that said, "Abortion is murder." Now his sign was an accusation. My sign was a plea bargain. At least I offer compromise. Think about it. In the state of Colorado, if a guy sneaks into your house trying to steal your television, you are perfectly within your rights to blow that guy's head off. And over here, you've got this person at conception on deck, ready to rob you not just of your property, but of your money, your food, your time, your home, your peace of mind, your sleep, and not just one shot, but for the rest of your life. And guys, this thief is not sneaking in through the window. He or she is going to be breaking into your life through the vagina of a woman who up till now was willing to have sex with you, and those are hard to come by. I think the make my day law applies. They didn't appreciate it. You gotta change it up, guys. You gotta shake things up. You can't just accept things the way they're put in front of you. For example, a normal person will see a McDonald's commercial and they'll think to themselves, you know, I could really go for some McNuggets. That attractive group of multi-ethnic young people seem to be really excited about them. Maybe when I get there, there'll be a heartwarming retarded boy or an inspirational at-risk youth behind the counter, ready to take my order. Why, yes, Leroy, I would like fries with that. I'm sorry, this is Pueblo. Why, yes, Hector, I would like fries with that. Ooh. I could steal a fry from a pretty girl and she'd laugh. I watch a little boy give Ronald McDonald a high five. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. But see, I see that commercial and I remember I've been to McDonald's a bunch of times. And it isn't like that at all. It might be multi-ethnic, but nobody is that excited about it. There's definitely not giving each other piggyback rides and shit. Now, the guy behind the counter might be retarded, but judging by the tattoos on his face, he is definitely at risk. And he's not the kind of retarded that's inspirational because he's doing a great job. He's the kind of retarded that can't count back change because he sucks at life. If you steal a fry from a girl, she probably isn't pretty, and her boyfriend will probably stab you. And there's no little boy giving Ronald McDonald a high five because the clown has long since forsaken this place, and all that's left of his legacy is a fiberglass statue that sits on the bench outside to keep the homeless people from sleeping there. And somebody drew a dick on his face. I think I'm going to tell one more quick story, you guys. I'm going to get personal with you. I made the mistake of marrying my high school sweetheart. Boo. Yeah. You know, when we were in high school and we first started having sex, my sexy talk was pretty limited. It was like, hey, is your dad home? Your brother's got football practice, right? But then we got married and, you know, things were getting a little dull and she asked me to talk to her like a dirty whore because, as it turns out, she was. And I was inexperienced in this department, so I pretty much had two flavors. It was either, oh yeah, give me that pussy. Or, if I was feeling particularly aggressive, yeah, take that cock. And then one night, it was a little late, and of course, I got my wires crossed and we're getting busy, and I said, oh yeah, give me that cock. We locked eyes for a moment. And not a word was spoken, but a silent pact was made. And then we got divorced. Plot twist. And I came out here to tell you guys about it before she got a chance to. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is John Brown. Thank you very much for coming out tonight. Garrett Waller, everybody.